Hi, Dr. Rodgers.
Hi, how are you, Gordon?
I'm well, thanks.
Good.
Please tell us about RSCI 533.
Okay. RSCI 533 is covers a component of drug development called toxicology. There's, within 532 that Dr. Davies has just talked to us about, there is 1 to 2 hours that covers toxicology, but it's a very complex process that a drug goes through in order to protect the public from an unsafe drug. As Dr. Davies said, all drugs have toxicity given a certain level of exposure, but in order to safeguard the public from toxicology issues that are unexpected, we do preclinical toxicology testing, and that's what this course covers. It's 16 to 24 hours of didactic lecture on the concepts regarding regulations around toxicology, the different tests that are done both before it goes into humans and as human testing is going on, and as well as the practical aspects, how to identify a good contract research organization to conduct your toxicology studies, what regulatory guidelines must they be conducted under, how to interact with that to get that done appropriately. And in addition to that, to make this a practical course, not just a course that provides information, there are 4 workshops that are done by experts in the field that are actually practicing toxicologists, that are taking things through the drug development process that are unusual, that aren't just checkbox items, for example, a vaccine or a stem cell. So in order to understand the special scientific concepts that you need to think about in order to develop a product that's more complex than a standard small molecule, we have workshop leaders that have done that for a living, some of them with 30 years experience, written some of the regulations, and they come and they provide a 4-hour workshop on those special subjects.
Fantastic. So what kind of student takes this course?
Well, it's a course, probably a student that's been through the core set of courses that are in the drug development and regulatory science profiles. You probably want to have an overview of the drug development process, 530, 531, and 532. This is a subject that follows on to that. It would be people with a scientific background. There's a fair amount of science within this, talking about the physiology and the systems that are affected. But it's a person who wants to bridge the gap between the bench and the understanding of the molecular mechanisms and going into human clinical trials, because this is the aspect where a lot of drugs fail if it's not done properly. So an understanding of the science to design the toxicology plan and the implementation and assessment of any signals that are seen in the animals, it's important that the person understands the drug, its mechanism, and the clinical aspect that's going to be tested in order to properly conduct those studies. So a person who has a solid science background, but is interested in getting something from the bench into a person.
Okay. So what you mentioned workshops. How is this course taught?
It's taught over 6 days, 8-hour days, where the first set of classroom time is spent on the lectures. Myself and a practicing toxicological consultant conduct those didactic courses. And then over the rest of the period is the workshops, as well as the student interacting with the workshop leaders, because the deliverables, one of the deliverables out of the course is each workshop leader is going to pose a question. A group of students are going to work on that question, and then their group presentations and papers are based upon that. So there's time with the workshop leaders to discuss their question, get their insights, in order for the groups to be able to work on their projects.
Sounds very interesting. Anything else you'd like to mention about 532?
No, 533.
Excuse me.
No, other than it's been run 3 times. It's been very well received by the students that have taken it, and it's an important component of drug development.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.